Hello everyone, welcome back to Tyler+Lindsay. It's been a bit, but I'm back now. So this also ain't gonna be the typical total drama stuffed animal edition, Wario show, or Mario Party video. So a few years ago, my brother reviewed my channel and specifically my ranking videos, but now I kind of want to do that with his channel, but instead of ranking videos, I'm going to be reviewing his new series, Total Drama Plush. Now, before I begin, I'd like to say there's going to be some major spoilers, so I would watch his series before watching this. But if you have watched his series already, well then, let's get into it. So, the big obvious one to start with is the cast. So we have a bunch of classics, and then we have 4 new characters. Murphy, Alex, Cole, and Captain Toad. So it was interesting seeing the 4 new characters for a few days. Although the one that we probably saw the most of was Cole, because he was in Season 4 of Total Drama... no, not Total Drama. Stuffed Animal Amazing Race. There we go. Stuffed Animal Amazing Race, Season 4. As the co-host to Fireflower Mario. So we did see him a little bit more than the other 3 characters, but not too much more. And yeah, it was interesting seeing all these characters again. But now let's get into the elimination order. This is going to be the part where it's like a big spoiler. So first out, of course, was Bowser Jr., then Captain Toad, then it was Amy, then Luigi, then it was Waluigi, I'm pretty sure. Then it was Daisy, then Mario. Then after Mario, it was Merge. So then the teams merged, of course. And Alex was the first one out for Merge. Then Wario. Then Sonic. Then it was... Whew, it's hard to remember. I think, yes, it was Stampy. Then Steve. Then we're in the final 5 now. Then it was Cole. And then Wave was the last one out. And the final 3, of course, was Bowser, Hammer Bro, and Murphy. And third place was Bowser. Yeah. Then the runner-up was Murphy, and the winner was Hammer Bro. So that's how all that went. So that's kind of like the basics. So before I like majorly begin, I would like to say that I have watched my brother's behind the scenes video, so I know all like the behind the scenes stuff that he had in mind. So yeah, it was interesting seeing some of these characters, although seeing some make it further than others definitely was different. But anyway, let's start with the big thing itself, the drama. So there's a bunch of different drama, the typical, Mario, Bowser, Steve and Stampy, etc., etc. But then there's the Wario and Waluigi versus Murphy. And then eventually Murphy and Sonic versus Wario and Waluigi. That drama was fine, although it definitely, in my opinion, it definitely did start getting very, very old. And yeah, I was just kind of tired of it as the season went on and on and on. I mean, I do know why my brother did that now after, watching his behind the scenes video. But even still, it is still definitely tiring seeing over and over again. And yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, like everyone basically eventually saw Wario as the big bad guy, big bully, etc., etc., while Murphy was the good guy, the sweet little one. It just got a little old, and don't even get me started on what I'm showing you right now. The final episode where Wario, the jury member, was explaining why he kind of hated everyone. This scene with Wario just it made me really annoyed watching it. No offense, but I just really didn't like seeing Wario like this. I mean, I get it. He's kind of a bad guy, but to me, I see him more as an anti-hero. He's not on Mario's side, but he's not really on Bowser's side either. So he's just more in the middle. I wouldn't really say like a big villain like what he's acting right here. I mean, more of a bully, but still. And then everyone's just yelling at him and taking sides, and it's just, even Fireflower Mario was getting annoyed with it. So I was like, oh my. I mean, for me, Fireflower Mario just seemed like the top type to like stop the fight, not pick sides with someone, which that was definitely a little annoying, but it wasn't too bad, I guess. But it was still definitely annoying seeing. Now, another little thing I have to say is how, no offense, but obvious some of the eliminations can get. Like, for example, the Mario elimination. After Daisy got voted off, I think we all kind of knew that Mario was going to be next. Not only was, of course, he the only winner left, but we could kind of tell with that episode where Mario got out, where Mario's just kind of unsure and a little worried. So it was kind of a little obvious knowing that Mario would get out. And same with this elimination right here, the Steve elimination. It was, yet again, pretty obvious that Steve was going to get voted off next. And it's fine, I guess, but it's just a little too obvious, in my opinion. And yeah, it felt like Bowser just had a lot of power in the game, and it was definitely starting to get a little annoying to see after a while. Alright, now it's time to talk about Bowser's villain arc. It was fine, but after a while it did definitely start to get old. And eventually it just kind of almost felt like Bowser got some plot armor too. But yeah, I guess it does make a little bit of sense. He did have some allies that worked with him to get some of those players out. But it was just kind of annoying just seeing Bowser dominate everything. So, yeah, it was definitely a little bit old after a while. Now, another interesting thing is that my brother said at the behind the scenes video that Puppy Paws and Cole were originally going to switch positions. Sorry, not positions, placements. But then he changed it because he kind of realized that Puppy Paws got a lot more screen time than Cole did. Which it was fine, I guess, but it was, in my opinion, it was definitely a little bit more, it was definitely more interesting seeing Cole making it, well, interesting in quotes, seeing Cole make it pretty kind of far. I mean, yeah, Bowser was definitely helping him out a lot, and of course they were working together in an alliance. But it was definitely, he felt like he just definitely like got carried along pretty far. I feel like he definitely overstayed his welcome a little bit. No offense, and honestly, I probably would have liked the original idea a little bit better. Seeing Puppy Paws making it further instead of Cole. And also on top of that, Puppy Paws never really made it far in anything to begin with. So it would have been interesting seeing him making it a little bit further. And then that would just be funny for Daisy too, because Daisy of course hates Puppy Paws. But yeah, we got Cole making it further instead, and it's a little bit annoying. And also on top of that, it would be a little bit interesting, well, of course, Cole made it far, but it would be interesting seeing what would happen if Steve and Cole switched elimination positions. Basically, if Cole got 6th and Steve got 5th. Then that would also get rid of another pair, if you think about it, being Bowser and Cole. But it didn't work like that, and Steve got 6th anyway. That would feel a little bit better, seeing at least Steve make it one day further, and so it wouldn't be like as obvious and stuff, but that didn't happen. It was still the obvious way. But that's okay, I guess. It's fine. It's just how it went. Now, another interesting thing he said in this video is that one of the people that was in Merge, aka Alex, was like one of his least favorite characters and said that she was pretty boring. I mean, I can kind of see that. She was kind of more of just a there character, like just there. But to me, I honestly thought she was pretty cool, to be honest, because she was actually kind of like one of the first ones to kind of figure out Bowser as kind of being a villain. But I think she knew too much, and then she just got voted off, of course, because my brother didn't like her making it as far as she did. So she was the first one out for Merge. Okay. And then it was kind of obvious that Wario was going to be next anyway because, you know, he had a big target on his back since everyone didn't like him, and Bowser was the villain, so that's just how it went. But yeah, it was interesting hearing that, I guess. Alright, now I think it's time to talk about the final three. So the final three was Bowser, Murphy, and Hammer Bro. So I kind of already had a feeling that of course Bowser wasn't going to win because, you know, everyone kind of hated him because of how he played. I mean, to be honest, out of the three of these final three, he definitely played the best game, I guess, by blindsiding people. Although, yet again, it was just kind of more annoying to watch. But I guess that's because he was a villain. I guess that makes sense, but it was still a little bit annoying anyway. Well then, anyway, we have Hammer Bro, who just kind of made it there luckily, because, you know, he was one of Bowser's allies, and Wave's ally, of course. So he just kind of made it there because luck. And then Murphy, basically the same as Hammer Bro, but yeah, I kind of expected Murphy to make it far because I just kind of knew that he was going to make it far. And then Hammer Bro making it to the final three, it was a little shocking, but after he made it to the final three, I knew he was going to be the winner because normally it's not normally the little cutesy character, aka the little animal Murphy in this case, that wins, and it's not normally like the big bad guy being Bowser in this case that would win. So it would have been the guy who's in the middle, aka Hammer Bro. So yeah, I kind of knew that. And after hearing the thing, yeah, it was basically the obvious one would have been Murphy, but it was Hammer Bro instead. Yeah, that was good, to be honest. I would rather definitely see Hammer Bro win over Murphy. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, so that's what I gotta say about the final three. Alright, but now here's the interesting question. Would there be anyone I'd rather see in the final three? Well, obviously, I kind of didn't really like Bowser just getting lucky and being the bad guy, making it to the final three from luck to the final three. So it would have been more interesting seeing other characters. And I kind of knew that Murphy would make it anyway to the final three. And then Hammer Bro is just kind of a wild card. And after a while, I knew that Bowser would make it in anyway. But who would I rather see in the final three? Well, for one, I feel like Steve could have made it to the final three instead of one of them. And another one would be probably Wario, because it would be interesting seeing him more. It would be interesting seeing like what it would be if Bowser and Wario kind of swapped roles in the way, where Wario is like the surprise villain in the way, and Bowser is more of the big villain, or the big bully villain. Which that I feel like would be better than It would be better seeing more like Bowser getting bullied, because Bowser, it's just Bowser. He's not, in my opinion, he's not as interesting of a character as Wario is. So it wouldn't be as, for this final scene, it wouldn't be as bad if Bowser was that big bully character, and him getting all the hate instead of Wario. I feel like that would have been a little bit better, but that's just not how it turned out. But yeah, it would definitely be a little bit better seeing Steve or Wario or some of those other characters, I guess. Heck, maybe even the second person out, Captain Toad. I mean, yeah, he's just kind of a random character, but he was kind of funny. He was almost like Hammer Bro in a way, just kind of more of like the stupid character, which was fun to watch, although he wasn't in it that far. Heck, even the first person voted out, that would have been different. Seeing Bowser Jr., what if he wasn't the first person? What if it was switched? Like, what if Bowser was the first one out and Bowser Jr. was the one who made it to the finale? That would be a lot different. There's a bunch of, like, what ifs or, if other people made it to the finals instead of the final three that we did get. But yeah, that's for sure all I have to say about the final three and how different it would be if some other characters were there instead. Another thing that was a little weird was how kind of like oblivious or dumb some of the characters were. For example, well, Steve's elimination. It was weird how, I mean, I get it. Yeah, Steve definitely isn't the brightest log on the fire, but still, even I feel like he would eventually realize, oh, something fishy is happening, and yeah. Instead, he was like, oh, yay, Bowser got Stampy out. I'm so excited. He'll definitely not turn against me. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of weird how like no one really notices, except maybe Wave a little bit, but definitely. But the one who knows the most about it, Murphy. Okay then, that's interesting. But it's kind of weird seeing how a cat is smarter than a. If you think about it, it's a cat smarter than a human, although cartoon cat and a blocky character human. But anyway, it's still a little. If you think about it that way, it is kind of weird. But anyway, it was a little weird seeing how like kind of like dumb some of the characters are. Got whenever Bowser was voting a lot of them off, and they didn't realize that until, of course, afterwards, and when it was too late. All right, and now another contestant to talk about. Let's talk about, of course, that lady right there, Daisy. So, I guess it was kind of interesting seeing her in the series. She didn't really make it that far, which I guess that's fine. But yeah, it was interesting. It was also interesting just seeing Mario, Luigi, and Daisy. No Peach because, like my brother said, he didn't really want that Luigi and Peach drama. He wanted to kind of take a break from that, which I guess it's fine. But, And originally, he wasn't even planning Luigi to be in the season to begin with. So maybe what would happen if instead of Luigi being in the season, Peach would be in the season instead? Well, I feel like definitely Daisy would have made it further because of, Peach and Daisy are basically besties. So Daisy would have made it a little bit further, even with a lot of power. But eventually she would have probably gotten voted out anyway because people would realize that, she has a lot of power. But yeah, it was definitely interesting seeing Daisy in it, and I kind of knew that she would probably get out maybe a little bit earlier because she was in a lot of series, and she just won something. I definitely knew that she was gonna, even though she was in the season, I knew she was gonna get out semi early, and yeah, that's what happened with Daisy. All right, I don't have much left to say. But one thing I do have to say is that probably one of the funniest characters, ironically, isn't even a contestant. It's that guy himself, Knuckles. Just take this challenge for an example, the hide and seek merge challenge. He, of course, just is stupid, and Knuckles, funny enough, finds all the hard spots first before the easy spots, leaving an easy spot like Hammer Bros to win, which, yeah, that was kind of funny. Seeing Knuckles as a co-host was definitely hilarious. But yeah, it was definitely very interesting seeing Knuckles as a co-host throughout this season. So, yeah. Now the last thing I want to talk about Alright, now the last thing I'd like to talk about, well, I might have said this already, but is the intro. So, I think it's a pretty good intro, to be honest. Although, the weird part is that, all these characters would get, like, probably, like, one screen picture, I guess you can say. Well, not showing them off, but like, they're little clips. Almost everyone gets one, but some people I don't even think get one. Like, I don't think Sonic got any, or Amy. But then there was, funny enough, Murphy. He got like 3 little video things of him, while everyone else just got one. So that's an interesting thing to point out. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this different video of video that I did, and I'll see you all next time for one of the more normal videos again, not one of these random videos. So see you all next time. Bye.